Hello, and welcome to another Contemplative Living. Every Sunday morning we try to come on and talk about subjects that bring us some peace, bring us into our own center so that we can live a more contemplative life. Spirit once said to me, our authentic being is essential on this threshold of shifting time. Time is a physical construct, and it's something that we live with here in this physical world. But there's a threshold that can take us beyond that, and our authentic being recognizes that. And so today, what we're really going to talk about is our awareness of the thresholds within ourselves. All right, so let's get to it.
Welcome. Now creating a life of peace. This is Contemplative Living with David Bennett. Contemplations and reflections to help with spiritual living. This podcast is made possible by dharmatalks.com.
All right, so we're talking about the awareness of thresholds within us. And this is a subject that really sparked my interest once I had recovered from my near-death experience. Because in my time on the other side, I reached a threshold. First I crossed a threshold from this life into the other. And then I reached a threshold there where I had to return. And so these thresholds, these doorways, these gateways, have always fascinated me ever since. And so today we're going to explore that in a little more detail. All right? So first, thresholds not only refer to a doorway, but also to a new beginning or a limitation. They mark the boundary between what was and what is to come. They symbolize pivotal moments in our lives. And stepping across these thresholds can be both exhilarating and daunting. And they can stir up an array of emotions within us. These thresholds not only are not solely confined to the physical boundaries, they exist within our minds and hearts also. These intangible gateways lead us towards self-discovery and personal evolution. They represent the internal barriers we must overcome in order to embark on profound inner journeys. Every teacher in time has seen the value in directing attention toward common points of entry. It's through these shared gateways that knowledge and understanding can begin to take root. We strive to create connections between seeker and the subject that we're learning. So building bridges that allow for a smoother journey into new concepts and ideas is ideal. So imagine, if you would, a classroom buzzing with anticipation as students gather around an intriguing object that's been placed at the center of their desks. You can feel the curiosity that fills the air. It's like electricity, and it's igniting their imagination and setting off sparks of excitement. This simple act of focusing on a common point of interest becomes a catalyst for engagement, drawing them closer together as they embark on an intellectual adventure. When we tap into these universal touchstones, teachers unlock hidden potential. That potential that's within their students' minds. Finding familiar access points enables learners to traverse uncharted territories with confidence. So, seek out those common threads that weave together our tapestries. They embrace, and we're embracing diversity while celebrating shared experiences. Through this mindful approach of seeking and learning, we witness moments where barriers crumble. They crumble away before our eyes. Now, thresholds are not only for walking through, but also for thinking about. So this is that contemplative part of our lives where we look at a point, an entry point, and we begin to contemplate on it. What does it mean for me? What does it mean for my family, my circle, my community? How can it be shared? Is it empowering? Is it good for me? Should I move forward? Should I move back? So, every threshold that we encounter, internally or in this physical world, gives us an opportunity to begin that contemplative journey. Any idea can become a doorway. And behind every doorway, there's a Buddha waiting to be discovered. And what I'm trying to say is that every doorway, every gateway that we come across is an opportunity for inspiration. And inspiration is the doorway to our higher consciousness. So when we find that threshold, when we find those doorways that can lead us into our higher realms of consciousness, we want to go there. We don't want to turn around. We really want to go there because God, the universe, has put it in our path, has put that threshold there and given us the opportunity to make our choices. We have free will. This is our opportunity to use our free will. So, doors are not obstacles to what's on the other side. If anything, they're a pivotal point that allows us to recognize that we are at a point where we can cross. And many times we can cross back and forth. So they're not obstacles. They're just a threshold. They're just a point in our being that allows us to use our free will to make a decision and make a commitment to being either inside or outside of something larger than yourself. Now, what does that mean? It means acknowledging that there's a world beyond our individual existence and making an active choice to engage in some way. To be inside of something larger than oneself can come in many forms. It might mean immersing yourself in the wonders of nature, taking long walks through the forest, or in my case, diving into the depths of the ocean. It could involve dealing with artistic endeavors, becoming part of a community, becoming part of an organization. It could be embracing spirituality, or simply connecting deeply with others on an empathic level. By choosing to be inside this greater whole, we open ourselves up to its infinite possibilities. And that allows ourselves to grow and learn alongside it. But on the other hand, there's also value in consciously choosing to be outside of this bigger picture at times. Sometimes we need solitude. Sometimes we need introspection, moments where we detach from external influences and focus solely on self-discovery. Stepping away from social expectations and pressures can provide us with clarity and perspective. So I guess ultimately, whether you choose to be inside or outside of something larger than yourself is a personal decision that may change throughout your life. Throughout your life's journey, those choices can change. And the important thing is to recognize that both choices have their own merits, each offering a unique opportunity for growth and understanding. So like a swinging door, we move freely back and forth through the various aspects of our lives. Throughout our life, we have learned to create personas, masks, and we freely put them on and take them off. And every time that we want to portray ourselves in a certain way, that's a threshold. And that's a doorway that we can explore. We can contemplate what and why do I feel this aspect of myself has to be what is presented to the world. So when we recognize when we're doing that, that's a huge step forward in our growth, in our spiritual growth. And then we can step back, take a breath, and examine, why am I choosing to go through this door? And why am I choosing to go back through the door? Back and forth. All right. So these thresholds have incredible meaning and incredible power to transform our lives when we take the time to explore them, to allow ourselves to learn from what we understand about ourselves. Because these pathways that we're walking in this physical life are all about getting to know ourselves and our relationship with our higher consciousness. And so every time that the universe or God presents with us a threshold, a gateway, take a breath. I do. I step back for a minute. Before I cross any threshold, I step back. I examine it. How can this help me grow? How can this help me be a better person? That's what life's really all about. All right. I hope you have a blessed week. And if these topics interest you in any sort of way, please subscribe to our channel. All right. Namaste.
Thank you for listening today to Contemplative Living with David Bennett. Please be sure to subscribe, listen, and share with your friends wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and the Podbean app. You can find the links to these on David's website, dharmatalks.com, on the Contemplative Living page. Have a blessed week.